Hello, with this lesson I'm starting a series of new units, very exciting units. Exciting for me as the teacher because not only I will teach you some Russian language, but also I will discuss with you some current topics within Russian culture, politics, international, national, some Russian attitudes. How will I create this learning environment without boring you? Well, I took several songs. I decided to present to you lyrics of several songs, and those songs are not classical songs from the language books. You know, this folk tale songs or some classical songs. Those are songs which were created within the last few years, and they're touching topics which are extremely important for Russia right now. Some of the songs are even discussing current political and international issues, while also criticizing the current politics and etc. etc. So will be very interesting. I don't want to go too deep into this. I don't want to bother you right now. Let's start learning Russian language. Just one last thing about the methodology, which I will expand throughout the next lessons. Well, I will present you songs. You won't see those songs within the videos. I posted the links in the section below. So first you come, you watch the video, you pause my video, you watch the video. There's also a link to the text of the song. You can print it out. After you watch this, after you started to like or dislike this, you come back and then we will discuss the language of the video. Some countries, as I heard from my students, are not broadcasting these videos on YouTube for one reason or another, some copyright issues, etc. etc. If it is so in your country, copy the name of the video, copy the name of the song, and just put it into Google it, and you will have a multitude of Russian websites which are not taking it too seriously with the copyrights within your country. So there is nothing illegal on this. It's just a basic something in the legal system. So YouTube got, for example, major problems in Germany to broadcast some information. So just overcome it. Don't use YouTube. Use something else. Another thing about text of the songs, I just took the random websites with lyrics. However, some of my students told me that there are translations. Well, the translations, as I saw them, they're all automatized. So they're all taken from Google Translator or some automatic translation websites. Don't use them because they skew the language within the song. So the information which is given by the automatic translation is different. Another thing very important about learning language from poems or from music, even though I choose songs with the sentences and the words which are really useful for you, which you can use on the street, some of the words are coming from slang, and some of the words are kind of insulting or swear words. You will understand it straight away because the swear words are swear words everywhere. However, for Russia, it is a little bit different than in English. In English, some swear words are kind of used universally. So some words you can use everywhere and people won't mind it. However, in Russian language, you have to be very careful. Well, in every language you have to be very careful, but in Russian language, many swear words got multitude of meanings. So unless you exactly know where to use the swear word, don't use it. Many students, many foreigners tell me, oh well, it's such a great icebreaker if I start with the slang language and people are laughing and they're becoming more approachable. Well, for you just to know, they're not laughing about what you're saying, they're laughing about the fact that you're using this kind of words. So basically they're laughing not about what you're saying but about you. So, and you don't want to go usually into this category, into this setting. So in this example, the first song is written by a stand-up comedian. So if you don't like the way it is presented, take it as a performance, not as a song. You don't need to sing it with. I'm not supporting all of the information which is given by the songs I've chosen. So use it as just a general attitude and as the opinion of the singer. It does not represent the whole Russia or whole Russian opinions, it's just a parody, as well as most of the songs which will be presented. So now let's start. What do I need from you? Well, pause this video and go into the link section and listen to the video. Listen to the song, try to recognize the words, and then come back to the video. Don't forget there is also a link to the text of the song. However, you don't need the text. It's better if you print it out so you will understand where you are within the song. However, if you just watch my video, I will discuss the whole structure, all of the sentences, all of the grammatical modifications. So just go to the video right now, pause my video and come back. So how did you like the song? Well, Semyon Slipakov is a stand-up comedian, so don't see him as the singer. So you're not promoted to sing the song or to dance for this. It's basically a performance to raise some issues which he thinks are critical in the Russian culture or society. So let's continue. Let's start straight with the title, and the title is "Kupi говно." Kupi говно. No, Kupi говно. As I told you, many words you will learn in this section, in the following unit or following lessons, are critical. You will recognize the critical words straight away. For you, I want to tell you, it's important to understand what is this word describing. However, it's not important for you to repeat those words or to use those words. Try not to insult anybody, only use those words if you know exactly how it will be perceived by people. So here, говно, written говно, pronounced говно. Well, it is shit, and it's in the English language. We can also chat with our friends and ask them, oh, what have you bought? And the friend doesn't care. He said, I just bought some shit, some stuff I don't care about. So говно means shit, both in the fickle sense of this matter or as stuff. So the song's name is by shit or by stuff. It will change its meaning throughout the song, however. So, and kupi. Kupi is important. It's imperative of the verb kupить. And for imperative, as we learned, we got two forms. The form which we would address politely people, and this form would be kupите. So if we would use вы form, the polite form of addressing people, or kupi if we would address our friends or well, somebody we're using just a street language. So kupi говно is buy shit. If we would address somebody politely, we would say купите говно. And probably we would also put пожалуйста, please. Please buy shit. So let's go with the text of the song. Всюду в магазинах импортный товар. I will write it. I really think you should write everything. You should work on your cursive. Many comments say, well, it is so difficult to work with cursive. It is not difficult to work with cursive. You need to learn how to use it, how to read this. Otherwise, if you use the capitalized letters, it will be a torture for you. And for the example, I will write the first word in the capitalized letters, so you will understand how much time it takes. Всюду. Всюду in capitalized letters would be V, S, U. You see, you need kind of a lot of work to write U. Then the is a torture. It looks like an hieroglyph. Всюду. Всюду. Let's continue with cursive. В магазинах, магазинах, Импортный. Импортный товар. Товар. So, всюду в магазинах импортный товар. Again, as говно, written говно, pronounced говно, the same thing happens in товар. Written товар, pronounced товар. You can learn the rule in the previous lessons, the pronunciation lessons. However, if you pronounce it the way it's written, it's absolutely fine. Russian language is phonetic language and people will understand you. So, всюду is a top frequency word, means everywhere. All of the top frequency words and the important words you learn, I will put in the link in the comment section to the flashcards. Всюду means everywhere. Try to speak after me. Всюду. В means in. Магазинах, in the shops. So we got a noun here. Shop. Magazin. If we would remove ach, we would get the word as it is written in the dictionary. Magazin. And the gender of this word you should know by now. You can guess it because it ends in n. It is masculine. If we would have in the shop in the singular, so in the shop versus to in the shops, we would use в магазине. And the plural of shop would be shops. Magazine. So we covered basically a whole week or maybe a few weeks of learning just inside this in the shops. So, and declination of nouns, it will come, well, it will be on the website in a few days. Basically, while watching the video, you will already find the declination of verbs in the section of Advanced Russian Language on the website of Russian Online University. So, magazine, the plural, magazine. Because magazine is masculine, we need to end it with y to get plural. In the shop would be в магазине. In the shops would be в магазинах. This is how important the suffixes are. Импортный. Import. Import is import. This is a word you already know. How comes we are using импортный? First, this is adjective, which is describing товар. Товар means goods. Товар in Russian language, it is singular. However, it describes a plural, goods. So something you cannot really calculate. It's a general word for goods. Ends in R, meaning it got masculine. So товар is goods. In Russian language it is written in singular, however, describes a plural. Don't worry, it is kind of an exception. There are quite few words which are used like this, and from the context you will understand. You will see it straight away, even if you don't see it right now. In the long run, you don't worry about this. However, here we got импортный товар. Because товар is masculine, if you want to review the gender of the nouns, you should go to the basic language level, the gender of the nouns lesson. So, товар is masculine. Because of this, we need to end it импортный. Also lessons in the basic section of Russian Online University, the adjustment of adjective to the gender of the noun. If we would have a neutral word, let's say говно, ends in o, meaning it's neutral. How would the ending change? Импортное. So, imported shit, импортное говно. This is n. And if we would have female, so let's say книга, book, we learned it as a female word, ends in a, книга. Импортная. На. Я. Импортная книга, импортное говно. Импортное кино. The cinema. Кино. Запад получает сказочный навар. Second sentence. Запад получает, получает сказочный, сказочный навар. So, навар here. Let's start with the last word again. Навар etymologically means if you cook something, if you boil something, this is the added ingredients into the water. So basically kind of a soupy liquid if you cook meat, for example, a bouillon. Bouillon is навар. However, nobody uses навар in this sense anymore. People are using it as added value. And if you go to Russia for businesses, this is the word to use. It is slang word. However, Russians, your business partners, will really like to talk about this. How will we make money? What is the навар? So навар is added value. And it ends in R. Товар ended in R. It was masculine. Навар ends in R. It is masculine. So товар, навар, there is a rhyme. And you can see the pattern. Товар, навар. Two masculine words. But the pattern does not end here because we need to adjust the adjective in front of added value to the gender, to the masculine. That's why we got the ending ый. So again, ный. Сказочный. Сказочный. Сказка means fairy tale. So it's like magical, fabulous. So actually fabulous would be the great translation. Fabulous added value. So the meaning of the sentence, meaning of this line, Запад получает сказочный навар, West is getting fabulous added value. And because we are working with patterns here, we can also understand that, for example, if we would have a neutral word, again, говно, shit, neutral, we would need to use the ending ное. Сказочное говно. And if we would use, if we would have a feminine word, сказочная. Сказочная книга. So this is feminine ending. This is a neutral ending. And навар is masculine, сказочный. And you can see the patterns. This is what you need to pay attention in the lessons. To the patterns, to the rhymes. Maybe you'll learn some words because the singers are singing them. It's easier to learn. Now let's continue with Запад. Запад means west. So west as the geographical direction. But in this context, we are using Запад as the west, as the Western countries. So North America, United States, Canada, Australia, Western Europe, the Europe as it is. So this is West. West as referred here inside the lyrics. West is also a word which is used quite often now in the television when then we are speaking about politics. So Russian television puts West versus Russia. So there is a West opinion and there is a Russian opinion. There is Western interest and there is Russian interest. So this is the context of West, so Запад. However, if you are coming from a country which is belonging to this category of West, people will categorize you, so there will be kind of prejudice in you about you that you are coming from the West. You got special sets of values. However, you cannot introduce yourself. I'm from Zapad, unless you are coming from the west of Moscow. You have to tell I'm from United States. Я из Америки. Я из Германии. Я из Австралии. So, Zapad is west, and you will hear it often in Russian news. And получает is getting. So the dictionary form of to get is получать. But west is getting. Запад получает. So in this context, because we need to connect usually words and adjust to the gender, Запад ends in de, it is masculine. Запад получает. However, книга, the book, which is feminine, would also be получает. Говно получает. So it's gender independent. However, it is not independent to the amount. So if we would have a plural, then we would need to end it with получают. So they are getting, они получают. Книги получают. So this would be the ending if we would need to say that a plural of people is getting. So они получают, they are getting. So let's review the sentence. Всюду в магазинах импортный товар. Запад получает сказочный навар. Everywhere in the shops is are imported goods, and the West is getting fabulous added value. Качество товара крайне высоко. Качество товара крайне высоко. Качество, quality. Качество товара. Here we got a problem. We got товар. Товар is masculine. Ends in R. What is happening here? Why is товар suddenly got the ending A? So here we got cases. The quality of what? Of the goods. And because we got the cases, we need to adjust the case of the noun here to the quality of what. So basically the quality of товара. You need a list of cases. Go please to the cases of Russian language to this lesson and review this. This is very important. This is most of the difficult topics of the Russian language. Here in this lesson, well, just follow. If you don't understand this, if you understand, it's great, then learn a little bit more, because товар is masculine. However, the quality of what is качество товара. It ends in A. If you don't understand this, review the lesson, try to understand the significance of the cases in Russian language, and try to understand where to point your attention while studying language. So, качество ends in O. Качество is neutral. Means quality. Качество of what? Of the goods. Качество товара. Крайне. Крайне is, so we get word край. Край is edge. Край is edge. Крайне means extremely. Extremely to the extreme. So, extremely high. Высоко is high. Extremely high. So the quality of the goods is extremely high. Крайне is important word. If we want to exaggerate in Russian language, we use крайне. С ним соревноваться очень нелегко. С ним соревноваться, очень Нелегко. Нелегко. So, с ним соревноваться очень нелегко. And now I can see I made a mistake, because it's not очень, but крайне. However, I don't know why my brain used the synonym of крайне here. However, we will keep it. The original word is крайне in the song. Крайне. So, крайне is extremely. Очень is very. They are interchangeable. So you can use both крайне or очень. Let's go. С ним, with him. What is this him referring to in this context? Well, you need to use the logic. С ним refers to the goods. Because goods, товар, is masculine, that's why we're using с ним. Let's translate the whole paragraph. Всюду в магазинах импортный товар. Everywhere in the shops are imported goods. Запад получает сказочный навар. The West is getting fabulous added value. Качество товара крайне высоко. The quality of the goods are extremely high. С ним, with the goods, с ним соревноваться очень нелегко. To compete with him is extremely difficult. Or очень means very, крайне is extremely. Соревноваться is to compete. So, соревноваться to compete, крайне, extremely, очень is very, нелегко is difficult. Нелегко is a very important word, and you can hear нелегко. Нелегко. We pronounce g as h. Basically because it's so difficult to pronounce g. Нелегко. Try to pronounce it. Нелегко. Нелегко. It's very difficult. Russians pronounce it нелегко. Нелегко. So if you see the combination g, h, нелегко. If you want some more information about the pronunciation, go to the phonetic section. So, с ним, with him, соревноваться очень нелегко. If we would refer to a female word, then we would say с ней. Соревноваться очень нелегко. If it would be neutral, we would say с этим соревноваться очень нелегко. Let's continue to the second paragraph. The first sentence, а на товар российский очень низкий спрос. And for the Russian goods, there is an extremely low demand. А на товар российский российский очень низкий спрос. So, sпрос, demand, very important word for economics and especially for people who will work on the Russian market, because you will have to research on sпрос, if there is a demand for your products or services. So, sпрос. And do you remember the first word we learned? Навар, added value, also very important. I know there are many people from Japan and China watching these videos, and I know you are coming to Russia for business. So demand is sпрос and навар is added value, very important. I don't know, I hope you remember, we learned as and. So in Russian language we got two versions of and. Synonymous versions is и, it's official and, so if you need to put and in the sentence, you should use и. We also got an, but here in this context r is more but. How do you know where to put which which meaning into a? Well, I mean, how to translate into the right meaning, because if you put something, if you create a sentence, I would suggest to you to use e. If you translate, well, you need to translate from the meaning of the sentence. Just be self-confident, try to understand the meaning, try to guess the meaning, and then put the right translation over it. Don't worry, it will work out. So here, na is at or on. We learned it as at or on. But here, we translate na is for. For the goods. Товар is goods. So, она товар. But for the goods, Russian. So we get noun before the adjective describing the noun. What is going on here? As you remember, we can replace noun and adjective in Russian language without changing the meaning of the sentence. So, and we got an example here. Низкий спрос, the low demand. Товар российский, goods Russian. So, Russian goods. They're interchangeable without changing the meaning. So, товар. Do you remember the gender of товар? It's masculine. We can guess it from the ending R. However, we also need to adjust the gender of adjective, of the description word, to the gender of the noun. That's why we got ending E. This is the masculine gender for adjective. What would happen with российский if we would have a female word, feminine word? For example, a book, Russian book. We would use ending ая, российская, российская книга. Or for neutral, the ending would be ое, российское окно, the Russian window. I know does not make much sense, but it is. So I just got it out of my head, the examples. Российская книга, российское окно. And the same is here. Низкий спрос. Спрос is demand. Try to guess the gender of спрос. Let's assume you don't know the gender of this noun. How would you guess it if you would have this sentence? Well, we got adjective, низкий, low. And низкий ends in ee. It's the masculine ending for adjective. So, for adjective describing the masculine noun. So, спрос must be masculine. Yes. So, for you, I would suggest to you to go through the lessons, through the following lessons where we discuss the music and the rhymes, because through this you can create a database for certain patterns in grammatic and in sentence building, and you can use these patterns to guess the genders of words or to guess some grammatical structures. So, низкий спрос. How would we say the low window? Window is окно. It's neutral. Низкое окно. Ое. And how would we say a low car? Car is машина. Ends in a. It is feminine. So we would need to use the ending ая. Низкая. Низкая машина. Низкое окно. Низкий спрос. So the ending of adjective changes accordingly to the word it describes, so accordingly to the noun. The next sentence. Всюду мы отстали, кроме папирос. Everywhere we are left behind except for the cigarettes. Всюду мы отстали от кроме папирос. Папирос. Всюду мы отстали, кроме папирос. Всюду means everywhere. Very important word. You will find it in the flashcards. Мы we already know what's мы. It's we. Отстали, left behind, comes from the verb отстать. Отстать is the official verb as we find it in the dictionary, to be left behind. Here we got отстали. Отстали is adjusted to the personal pronoun мы. Мы отстали. How would you say I was left behind? I'm left behind. Я отстал. He is left behind. Он отстал. Она отстала. So for the female we got the ending a. Кроме means except. Everywhere we are left behind except papiroсы. So papiroсы I translated for you as cigarettes. It is not exactly cigarettes. Cigarettes in Russian language is сигареты. So cigarettes, сигареты. Very easy to remember, it is the same word. However, papiroсы, it's a special kind of cigarettes. It's a cigarettes without filter. Basically, the cigarettes were invented during the Soviet times when most of the Russia was not having any money to buy any cigarettes, and they needed to rationalize to save tobacco. So they created a funny cigarette which is made out of this little tobacco and this much of empty filter. And basically people were folding the backside of the cigarette, of this papirosa, and creating a small filter, so basically the tobacco won't go inside your mouth. However, it's very unhealthy, as you can imagine, no filter, extremely unhealthy. Right now people mostly use it for fun or to make joints. They just take out the tobacco, mix it with the marijuana and put it back inside the papiros, inside the hills. However, you can buy it in most of the tobacco stores. So if you go to Russia, ask for papirose and you will get this. There are actually some extremely expensive ones made for, I don't know whom, as souvenirs probably. The next sentence. Обувь для мутантов, мебель для горилл. Обувь для мутантов, мебель, мебель для горилл. Горилл with double L. Мебель для горилл. So, мутантов. Can you guess the meaning of this word? It's mutant. And горилл is the monkey, the gorilla. So, the gorillas, the big humanoid monkeys. So, what is going on inside the sentence? Обувь is the collective term for shoes. So, all shoes are falling under the main name обувь. Для means for. Extremely useful word. You should learn it. So we got shoes for the mutants. So the noun is mutant. The mutant. Mutant. However, for the mutants, for whom we need to use the ending of. And мебель is furniture. Again, the collective term for all of the furniture. Мебель, furniture. Для means for. Gorillas. So, для горилл. So, the singular form of gorilla is gorilla. One monkey, gorilla. But for gorilla, for the monkeys, for gorilla. So, what is going on inside here? We got a very low demand for Russian goods. We are everywhere left behind except for these horrible cigarettes. Nobody wants to smoke. And we produce shoes for mutants and furniture for gorillas. А машины будто дьявол сотворил. А машины, будто дьявол сотворил. Сотворил. А машины будто дьявол сотворил. This is an extra topic. So many countries are using Soviet cars. However, the Soviet cars were not upgraded for such a long time, and they started to upgrade them just recently, a few years ago. And the Russian cars are kind of horrible. They are breaking every now and then. They're falling far behind the Chinese cars or any kind of cars. So in this sentence, "a" is translated as "and." So, and the cars are created by the devil. Будто means as if or like. Будто, you will come across this word many times. It is frequently used. So, будто you can translate it as like or as if. Машины. Machine. Does it sound anyhow equal to any word you know? So, machine is the car. Будто, as if. Дьявол should also sound familiar to you. Дьявол is devil. So, дьявол, devil. Дьявол, devil. The same word. And сотворил, it is a kind of an created in religious sense, and here it's kind of resembling the religious jargon. So, дьявол сотворил, created by devil. And the cars, машина. Here we got ending "ы". Машина would be car. The ending would be "a", which would make машина female, feminine. Машины is the plural. Here we got a problem. So, for example, машина, you have to know the gender of the original word машина to guess the gender. So, машина would be feminine. You have to learn it. From the plural машина, you cannot derive the gender of the noun. That's kind of pity, however, we have to live with this. Let's continue on working and on understanding how horrible the Russian goods are. The next sentence. Для хромых дороги, мода для слепых. Для хромых дороги, мода для слепых. Для means for. Хромых is lame, people who cannot walk rightly. Дороги, streets. Дорога would be the dictionary form of the street. Дорога, the singular, ending in "a", means it is feminine. Хромых, lame. What is going on here? If you would look up for the word хромой, well, lame, in the dictionary, you would find the word хромой. The same is also with the second part of the sentence. Мода для слепых. Мода is fashion. Для is for. Слепых, blind. Слепых. If you would look up in the dictionary, you would find слепой. The noun слепой is blind. But here we got слепых. What happened from ой to их? And here from ой to их, the ending их. Well, it's an advanced and long lesson, which you will find in the lesson section. However, for you as reminder, for the masculine, слепой, for the feminine, слепая. So, a blind woman, слепая женщина. A blind man, слепой мужчина. For the plural, слепые. Слепые люди, the blind people. So ы ending for plural. So, but if we would use для, so for somebody, for whom, this would create another case. And this case, where you need to answer the question for whom, we would need to change the endings. So you need to go to the section of cases to understand it fully. However, here I want to give you a small introduction to this. So, for the blind, for the masculine form, для слепого, для слепого, written, для слепого. For the blind woman, для слепой. And for the plural, для слепых. So, can you hear the change in the ending? It is kind of difficult. However, once you got the structure, once you understand where the endings are coming from, it will get easier. So you need to go over this, you need to take the tables, you need to write down everything and try it out. And once you will start speaking, people will start correct you. Don't worry, just start speaking and try to understand the significance of endings and go to the lessons and watch them over and over again, write them over and over again, and at some point I'm promising you, you will start speaking. Some more horrible products. Бритвы для бесстрашных, фильмы для тупых. Бритвы. Бритвы для бесстрашных. Бесстрашных. Фильмы для тупых. Фильмы для тупых. Бритва. Бритва would be razor. And it ends in a. It is feminine. Razor in Russian is feminine, бритва. And to create a plural out of бритва, we need to exchange the ending a with y. Бритвы. So, the plural of бритва, бритвы. Для means for, extremely useful word. Бесстрашных. Бесстрашных means fearless. If you see the prefix, the beginning in the word which starts with без, means without. So, if you find a word starting with без, the general overall meaning it's without something which follows без. And here, страшных. Страшных means scary. So, without scary, without fear. Для бесстрашных. Фильмы для бесстрашных. Fearless. Actually, you don't need to learn this word this way, so don't use страшных. We will learn it separately. So, бесстрашных means fearless. However, we can learn the endings, or we can research on endings, what is going on here. The ending их, бесстрашный, would be fearless for the man. Бесстрашный мужчина. Fearless man. Бесстрашная. Бесстрашная женщина is fearless woman. Бесстрашное. Ое. We don't have it here. I don't have place. So бесстрашное means ending for the neutral. We already learned it before. Бесстрашное животное. The fearless animal. So, and for бесстрашных means for the fearless people. Бесстрашных. And here it is also implied that there are people who are fearless. And the razors are made for the fearless people. It is implied inside the sentence. For the fearless woman would be для бесстрашной женщины. And for the fearless man, для бесстрашного мужчины. So you can see we are changing only the endings. Those of you who are a bit more advanced in the Russian language will understand this and will able to learn a little bit more while watching this video. For those of you who cannot really relate to these endings, try to grasp the logic within, and I'm repeating it over and over again, so you can learn a little bit more on each single adjective. Filmy. Film is film, so movie. Film without I would be the general form for the masculine word film taken from the dictionary. So film ends in M, it is masculine, and if we want to make a plural out of movie, out of film, we need to add I. Again, creation of a plural of nouns. You should go and watch this video if you don't understand it fully. Для means for. Тупых. Тупых is stupid. So stupid, extremely useful word, but don't use it unless you know exactly what are you describing and whom are you telling it. However, it's a word which is used in literature, so there is nothing extremely bad inside this word. So тупой, this is the way you will find it in the dictionary. Тупой is the adjective stupid describing a male person. Тупой человек. Тупая. Тупая женщина. So we're exchanging the ending ых here with another ending. Тупая for female. Тупое. Тупое животное, stupid animal. So, and for, so if we'll use the case which answers the question for whom, для тупых, for the stupid, для тупой женщины, for the stupid woman, для тупого мужчины, для тупого животного, and here in this case, для тупых людей. Людей is implied here because it's some kind of literature language, poetic language. So, фильмы для тупых, here людей would be fitting very well. However, everybody understands what is going on here. So, in general, the movies are made for the stupid people, the razors are made for the fearless people, the streets are created for the lame people, and the fashion is created for blind people. So every product which is created in Russia is horrible. Next sentence. В этом положении сложном для страны. В этом положении положение сложном для страны. В этом положении сложном для страны. В means in. Этом this. Here, этом. Этом refers to положение. Положение is translated as state. Положение. Ending soft sign е. It is neutral. So it got neutral gender, the noun, положение, the state. I mean state as the position. Actually, положение is the original translation is position. So in this position, difficult for the country. So положение as the state of emergency, state of country, this kind of state. So в этом положении, in this state, and этом refers to neutral and to masculine. However, if we would have an feminine gender word, which we would need to describe with this, then we would use в этой. Той. So, в этой стране, but в этом положении. Сложном. Сложном is difficult, but it refers again to the word положение. Положение is neutral. That's why we're using here also сложном, difficult, adjusted to the gender of положение. So, в этом положении сложном. В этом сложном положении. Or в сложном этом положении. We can exchange the position of those words, of adjectives and noun, without losing the sense or the meaning of the sentence. Для, for, страны is the country. So, in this state, difficult for the country. And this difficult for the country state. Все объединиться вместе мы должны. Все объединиться, ся, вместе, мы должны. Все, it is one of the first words we learned. It means all. All meaning all of us. Объединиться is unite. Вместе, together. Мы, we, должны, have to. So, we have to unite all together. We got a difficult situation in our country. We need to unite all together. Все, all, объединиться, unite, вместе, together, мы, должны, have to. So, должны, must. So, we must or have to unite all together. It derived from the word должен, have to or must. But because we got ending «ы», it refers to the plural. We должны, мы должны. Я должен, он должен, она должна. She have to, она должна. So, а for feminine. Должен is for masculine, neutral. Она должна, мы должны, вы должны. You in plural also have the ending «ы». So, and for the masculine it would be жен. Он должен, она должна, мы должны. As well as вы должны. Also in a polite form, if you want to say you must to somebody you respect or somebody older than you, you have to say вы должны. You have to.